Let's take a trip to medieval China, a society deeply rooted in Confucian principles, a philosophical and ethical system that emphasized strict adherence to traditional hierarchical structures and gender roles. During this era, the prescribed roles for women were primarily confined to the domestic sphere, where they were expected to maintain the household and bear children. Women were seen but never heard. They were devoid of any public influence or authority. However, during this era, there emerged a woman who defied tradition, challenging the centuries-old gender dynamics that confined women of her time to domestic roles. Zetian, a concubine who eventually became both the Empress consort and mother to emperors, defied the established norms of medieval China and rose to sovereign power. But how did Zetian rise to power? What challenges did she face during her extraordinary journey? Our video will answer all your questions. Brace yourself for an extraordinary story of Zetian, full of suspense and mystery. Humble beginnings. The story of Zetian began in Wenshui County. Zetian entered the world during the 7th year of Emperor Gaozu of Tang's reign, a momentous year marked by a total solar eclipse visible across China. Despite her significance, her exact birthplace remains a subject of historical debate. Some experts contend that she was born in Wenshui, while others suggest Lizhu, which is present-day Guangyuan in Sichuan. There's even a claim that she might have been born in the imperial capital of Chang'an. Wu belonged to a well-to-do household. Her father, Wu Shiyue, earned his livelihood in the timber industry, affording the family a relatively comfortable financial standing. Her mother hailed from the influential Yang family. During the final years of Emperor Yang of Sui, Li Yuan, the future Emperor Gaozu of Tang, made frequent visits to the Wu household while holding official positions in both Hedong and Taiyuan. After Li Yuan's successful overthrow of Emperor Yang, he displayed his generosity towards the Wu family, providing them with financial support, grain, land, and clothing. As the Tang dynasty solidified its presence, Wu Shiho, Zetian's father, assumed a series of significant ministerial roles, and her family's financial standing improved overnight. Early life. During her formative years, Wu received an extraordinary and somewhat unconventional upbringing. Her father, recognizing the value of education, actively encouraged her to engage in reading and pursue her intellectual development. This kind of encouragement was exceedingly rare for young women in her era and went beyond the conventional societal norms. Wu delved into a diverse range of subjects, including politics, governmental affairs, literature, writing, and music. Her insatiable thirst for knowledge set her apart. However, fate had some different plans for Zetian, and her smooth sail took an unexpected turn. At the tender age of 14, Wu was selected to serve as an imperial concubine, a lesser wife, in the court of Emperor Taizong of Tang. When Wu was summoned to the imperial palace, her mother, Lady Yang, bid her a tearful farewell. But Wu did not break down or lose her spark. Her calm response revealed her extraordinary ambitions. She calmly stated, "How do you know that it is not my destiny to meet the Son of Heaven?" On hearing her daughter's response and understanding her elusive yet resolute path, Lady Yang stopped shedding tears. Early days in the imperial palace. Within the imperial palace, Wu's journey took an intriguing turn. She assumed a role of a secretary, an opportunity that not only maintained her connections in the palace to learning, but also furthered her education. It's worth noting that she was bestowed with the title of Chiron, a distinguished position that held the rank of the 5th within the Tang Dynasty's intricate 9-rank system, an order that encompassed imperial officials, nobility, and consorts. This pivotal period of her life, both academically enriching and socially significant, laid the groundwork for her extraordinary path to come. Consort Wu's position at the Tang court under Emperor Taizong was marked by a lack of apparent favoritism, despite a period of physical intimacy between them. According to her own account, she once displayed remarkable courage, recounting an incident where she offered a bold solution to the challenge of taming the unruly lion stallion, one of Taizong's powerful horses. She suggested using an iron whip, an iron hammer, and a sharp dagger to subdue the steed. Her fearless proposal earned praise from Emperor Taizong, a testament to her audacity. Following Taizong's passing in 649, his youngest son, Li Ji, ascended to the throne as Emperor Gaozong. Lore has it, Li Ji had previously engaged in a romantic liaison with Wu while Taizong was still alive. Taizong, who had 14 sons, did not have any children with consort Wu, in contrast to his beloved Empress Jiangsun, who bore him 3 sons. Consequently, in accordance with the customary practice, which dictated that consorts of deceased emperors who had not borne children were to be confined to a monastic institution upon the emperor's death, Wu was sent to Ganya Temple with the expectation that she would live out her life as a Buddhist nun. However, Wu defied convention and chose an unconventional path. But how did she return to the imperial court? Did she break the customs, or did she change them? Fate gave Wu Zetian another opportunity when Emperor Gaozong succeeded Emperor Taizong. On the anniversary of Emperor Taizong's passing, his successor, Emperor Gaozong, undertook a somber visit to the temple for an incense offering ritual. It was on this occasion that he came face to face with Wu, the widow of the late emperor. Both Emperor Gaozong and Wu found themselves overwhelmed by grief for the departed Taizong, shedding tears together in his memory. From their first encounter within the hallowed halls of the imperial court, Emperor Gaozong had been captivated by Wu's remarkable beauty. Following his father's passing, he began making frequent visits to the temple in the hope of encountering the widowed Lady Wu once again. Wu, keenly aware of the young emperor's character and vulnerabilities, sought to provoke him into taking her back to the imperial court. With an air of defiance, Wu remarked to the emperor, "Even though you are the son of heaven, you can't do anything about it," alluding to her confinement within the temple. In response, the resolute Emperor Gaozong declared, "Oh, can't I? I can do anything I wish." This exchange marked the beginning of a pivotal chapter in the story of Wu Zetian's rise to power. Li Shi, intrigued by her newfound beauty, intelligence, and charm, decided to reinstate her as his concubine, altering the course of her life once again, and this way, Wu once again entered the imperial court. Rise to power. It is interesting to notice how, within no time, consort Wu, who had just stepped, was already planning to rise to power. By early 650, consort Wu had risen to the rank of Emperor Gaozong's concubine, holding the prestigious title of Zhao Yi, the highest among the 9 concubines in the second rank. Her ascent in the imperial court was swift and remarkable. However, Wu was not satisfied with her ranks. She continued to climb the ranks, eventually achieving the status of Huanghu, the Empress consort, the most esteemed position attainable by a woman in the empire. This marked the beginning of her extraordinary journey towards unprecedented authority and influence over the governance of the empire during the reign of Emperor Gaozong. In the early years of his rule, Emperor Gaozong ascended to the throne at the age of 21, although his reign was not the first choice due to his perceived inexperience and persistent health issues that brought spells of dizziness. He inherited the imperial position primarily because his 2 elder brothers had fallen into disgrace. A poignant moment in the unfolding narrative occurred during a visit to the Ganya Temple on the anniversary of Emperor Taizong's death. There, Emperor Gaozong and consort Wu, then a lady-in-waiting, shared a heartfelt encounter witnessed by Empress Wang, who, at that time, was not in the emperor's favor. During this period, Emperor Gaozong favored consort Xiao over Empress Wang. Empress Wang, who lacked children, endeavored to divert the emperor's attention from Xiao by introducing Wu to the palace. Wu soon rose to prominence, displacing Xiao as Emperor Gaozong's favorite. In 652, she gave birth to her first son, Li Hong, followed by another son, Li Xian, in 653. However, neither of these sons stood as contenders for Emperor Gaozong's heir, as Li Zhong, his eldest son, had been designated as the heir under the influence of officials at the behest of Wang. This orchestration was aimed at securing Liu's gratitude, Li Zhong's mother, despite her humble origins. By 654, both Wang and Xiao had fallen out of favor with Emperor Gaozong. These former romantic rivals unsuccessfully united against Wu. But Wu Zetian played well. She knew very well that Empress Wang possessed a deep affection for children, and it was through her love for infants that Wu found a way to rid herself of this rival. After a tender moment in which Empress Wang played with Wu's newborn daughter, she set a sinister plan into motion. Many claim that Wu resorted to the horrifying act of killing her own infant daughter, all the while craftily shifting the blame onto Empress Wang. Wu accused Wang of being responsible for the child's death, with allegations and eyewitnesses supporting her claim. This tragic event convinced Emperor Gaozong of Empress Wang's apparent guilt, leading him to promptly remove her from her position. In an instant, Wu Zhao was elevated to the coveted role of empress. With her newfound power, she swiftly executed her plot, ordering the execution of Empress Wang and consort Xiao. Their relatives and supporters were met with exile, and Wu's path to greater influence was paved with blood. Her greed for power and influence had just begun. In 655, Wu accused Wang and her mother, Lady Liu, of practicing witchcraft, resulting in Wang's demotion and Liu's banishment from the palace. Wu also began to garner support from various officials, while Emperor Gaozong attempted to change the empress. His attempts faced opposition from some chancellors, but he ultimately deposed Wang and Xiao, elevating Wu to the position of empress. Her pursuit of power was often regarded as ruthless, and traditional historians perpetuated the false notion that she had killed her own children. However, subsequent historical investigations discredited these allegations, which appeared long after her death. These rumors seem to have been a product of the ancient Chinese belief that women were unsuited to hold imperial power. The cause of death of her first two children remains a subject of uncertainty. The ascent of Empress Wu to power marked a pivotal turning point in the history of the Tang Dynasty. Imperial dreams. Finally, Empress Wu and her long-cherished ambition to hold imperial power came true. She skillfully advanced towards her aspirations while strategically assisting Emperor Gaozong in state governance. By now, Emperor Gaozong was well aware of Wu's exceptional intelligence and her remarkable knack for influencing officials. He was growing uneasy due to her growing authority, but Empress Wu's influence continued to expand. In 656, when Gaozong designated Li Hong as the crown prince, Wu's power further grew, as she now held the position of the mother of a future emperor. She implemented an informer system and appointed ruthless officials to eliminate any opposition to her authority. These officials resorted to extensive torture, subjecting numerous high-ranking ministers and aristocrats to Wu's ruthless crackdown on perceived adversaries. Wu also launched a concerted effort to eliminate her political rivals, ousting them from office, exiling them, and even ordering their execution. One of her prominent political opponents, Zhang Sun Wuji, was driven to take his own life in 659. In the following year, Emperor Gaozong suffered a debilitating stroke that left him blind, forcing him to delegate all state affairs to Empress Wu. Consequently, Wu became the de facto ruler of the empire for the ensuing 23 years. Reign of Empress Wu. Empress Wu's reign marked a period of considerable authority, marked by her astute maneuvering within the imperial court and her strategic suppression of potential challenges to her power. In a twist and turn of events, Emperor Gaozong passed away. His passing in 683 marked a significant transition for Wu Zetian. There were speculations and debates over who would assume authority after Emperor Gaozong. Since Wu's eldest son had died earlier, her second son, Li Xian, ascended to the throne as Emperor Zhongzong in 684. However, within a year, Wu replaced him with her youngest son, Li Dan, who assumed the title of Emperor Ruizong. Similar to his father's situation after the stroke, he served as a puppet emperor. During this period, there were several revolts incited by Tang loyalists and princes. Nevertheless, Wu adeptly suppressed these revolts, consolidating her power by eliminating most of her political rivals. She was disappointed that her effective governance still led to dissent, prompting her to take unprecedented actions. In 690, Wu broke with convention and declared herself the Holy and Divine Emperor. She founded the Zhou Dynasty, unrelated to the Ancient Zhou Dynasties, and designated Luoyang as the new capital. For the next 15 years, Wu ruled as the sole woman emperor in Chinese history, solo empress of China. From 690 onwards, Wu's reign as the solo empress ushered in a remarkable and unconventional era in Chinese history. Empress Wu initiated several reforms to strengthen the central government. She expanded the civil service system, recruiting talented officials based on merit rather than social status. Her administration was characterized by efficiency and the promotion of capable bureaucrats. Presidency. In his role as Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré has maintained a distinctive and enigmatic presence, which is characterized by a reserved and highly formal demeanor. This reserved nature was, interestingly, a trait for which he was already known even before ascending to power. It appears that Traoré deliberately seeks to convey a carefully crafted image, one that embodies the qualities of a decisive and proper war leader. This choice may be rooted in an effort to avoid the negative public image that had plagued some of his predecessors. Notably, Traoré has exerted a tight control over his communication and public appearances, reflecting his commitment to projecting an image of steadfast leadership in a nation grappling with security challenges. His presidency has also witnessed a notable increase in pro-government propaganda, both in traditional Burkinabe media and on social media platforms. This propaganda serves as a means to disseminate the government's narrative and maintain a strong grip on the information landscape. In a surprising move, in February 2023, Traoré's government decided to expel French forces that had been essential in assisting Burkina Faso in countering the local insurgency. This bold action marked a clear shift in the nation's foreign policy direction, indicating a pivot away from established partnerships and potentially signaling new geopolitical alignments. Following the expulsion of French forces, Traoré's government articulated a clear intention to explore new international horizons, emphasizing the pursuit of mutually beneficial partnerships. This signaled a strategic shift toward diversifying Burkina Faso's international relationships. Shortly thereafter, Traoré's administration expressed support for the idea of a federation involving Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea. All three countries were under military leadership, and such a union would potentially result in the largest nation governed by a military junta. With the need to fill the void left by the departure of French military support, Traoré embarked on the path of forging closer ties with Turkey and Russia. These emerging alliances marked a significant realignment of Burkina Faso's foreign policy, creating new geopolitical dynamics in the region. In April, as rebel forces continued to escalate their attacks, Traoré declared a general mobilization of the population to bolster the military's efforts. He publicly pledged to retake all areas held by the rebels, asserting that negotiations with the insurgents would not occur until their strength was significantly diminished. However, in the subsequent month, Traoré raised questions about the planned restoration of democracy in 2024, suggesting that elections could not proceed until the insurgents had been pushed back and the overall security situation improved. This stance underscored the prioritization of security concerns as a prerequisite for a return to democratic governance. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, marked by his evolving diplomatic strategies and unwavering stance on security, showcases the dynamic nature of Burkina Faso's political landscape. His ability to navigate these complexities and steer the nation forward in the face of insurgent threats and internal unrest will significantly shape the country's future. In terms of political influences, Traoré has been described by Le Monde journalist Sophie Daus as being inspired by Marxism and Pan-Africanism. These ideologies have likely played a significant role in shaping his approach to governance and decision-making, and they serve as notable hallmarks of his presidency. Involvement with Russia, allegations of connections between President Ibrahim Traoré and the Russian mercenary organization Wagner Group have stirred significant debate. These suspicions have arisen due to Traoré's expressions of anti-French sentiment and apparent pro-Russian inclinations, as reported by Reuters and the New York Times. But the question that arises here is, do these expressions truly link him to Wagner Group, a group notorious for its shadowy operations? Upon his arrival in Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, during a moment of triumphant return, supporters cheered, and some even waved Russian flags. This outward display of support for Russia raised eyebrows and further fueled speculation about the nature of Traoré's international relationships. The government of Ghana publicly alleged that Traoré initiated collaboration with the Wagner Group after the coup, enlisting their services against the jihadist rebels. However, Traoré vehemently denied these claims, instead asserting that Burkina Faso's version of Wagner is the Volunteers for the Defense of the Homeland, VDP. This leaves us to ponder whether these allegations are accurate or part of a broader geopolitical narrative. Then, in a surprising turn of events, on July 29, 2023, following the 2023 Russia-Africa Summit, Traoré declared that his country's people support Russia and announced the decision to reopen the Russian embassy, which had been closed since 1992. This step raises the question of whether Burkina Faso is indeed forging new alliances in the international arena. According to reports by Le Monde in May 2023, it appeared that, for the time being, the Traoré regime was favoring the use of its own forces in the fight against the jihadists, without requesting assistance from Wagner's Russian mercenaries. This raises a question. Is this a calculated move to maintain sovereignty and handle security concerns with native resources? The allegations, declarations, and actions surrounding President Ibrahim Traoré's international relations and potential affiliations raise intriguing questions about the true nature of these connections and the evolving dynamics in Burkina Faso's foreign policy. Failed coup. On September 26, 2023, a significant and audacious coup attempt unfolded in Burkina Faso, targeting President Ibrahim Traoré. This coup was staged by dissatisfied elements within the military. The exact motivations and grievances of the coup plotters were not immediately clear, but it was evident that there was discontent within certain factions of the armed forces. Reports revealed that 4 officers have already been arrested, while 2 are yet to be found. The dissatisfied military elements sought to overthrow Traoré's government, viewing it as inadequate or unresponsive to their concerns. The specific grievances and demands of the coup plotters were not immediately made public, but it was apparent that they believed a change in leadership was necessary. In the face of this coup attempt, Traoré demonstrated a resolute and determined response. He refused to yield to the coup plotters' demands and rallied his supporters and loyalist military units to defend the government. Traoré's decisiveness in resisting the coup was emblematic of his commitment to maintaining stability and upholding his presidency. President Traoré addressed the nation in a public statement, denouncing the coup attempt and declaring that he would not surrender to the plotters. Loyalist military units, as well as his supporters, quickly mobilized to protect Traoré's government. The coup attempt resulted in clashes between the dissident military elements and Traoré's loyalist forces. The loyalty of these forces played a pivotal role in quelling the coup attempt. Ultimately, the coup attempt against Traoré was unsuccessful. His unwavering response and the support of loyalist military units ensured the preservation of his presidency and the constitutional order. Personal life. One cannot help but wonder what Ibrahim Traoré's personal life looks like. Many people ask if he is committed or married. However, it appears that Ibrahim Traoré is an extremely private individual who isn't ready to disclose his personal details as of now. Ibrahim Traoré's decision to keep certain aspects of his personal life hidden and private likely stems from a combination of factors. As a prominent political figure and the president of Burkina Faso, Traoré is undoubtedly aware of the potential security risks associated with divulging personal information. Public scrutiny and constant attention to personal matters can hinder a leader's ability to make crucial decisions and steer the nation effectively. Therefore, Ibrahim Traoré has kept the details about his early life, family, and personal routines concealed so as to help safeguard both his own safety and that of his loved ones. It's not uncommon for leaders in volatile regions to maintain a level of anonymity to reduce the risk of targeted attacks. Keeping his personal life hidden could be a strategic choice to maintain an air of enigma and formality, which has become a characteristic of his presidency. This calculated image projection may align with his political objectives, presenting himself as a focused and decisive leader. While maintaining a private personal life may contribute to Traoré's security and governance focus, it has also created a degree of mystery and curiosity around him. Public image and perception. Traoré's public image is marked by a mix of curiosity, hope, and cautious optimism. His youth and the circumstances of his rise to power have attracted global attention. Since Traoré is one of the youngest serving presidents in the world, this has drawn considerable attention both nationally and internationally, with some viewing his youth as a potential source of fresh perspectives and progressive ideas. Youth and the circumstances of his rise to power have attracted global attention. Since Traoré is one of the youngest serving presidents in the world, this has drawn considerable attention both nationally and internationally, with some viewing his youth as a potential source of fresh perspectives and progressive ideas. Youth and the circumstance. Zetian's multifaceted legacy extends far beyond her reign, shaping the course of Chinese history and even influencing women leaders in modern times. Wu Zhao's influence extended to attitudes about sexuality and the role of women, with her reputation for sexual promiscuity emerging during a relatively permissive period in Chinese history. The Tang dynasty allowed women a degree of flexibility regarding remarriage and sexual relationships. However, as history progressed into the Song dynasty, 960–1279, attitudes underwent a significant transformation. During the Song period, the influential philosopher Zhu Xi, 1130–1200, played a pivotal role in reshaping these attitudes. He introduced the concept of separate spheres and placed renewed emphasis on women's chastity. Zhu Xi held the belief that a woman's chastity was of paramount importance, to the extent that it was preferable for a woman to endure hunger than to compromise her chastity. Aware of Wu Zhao and her scandals, Zhu Xi considered her reign unlawful and advocated for women to remain in the domestic sphere. Zhu Xi, as the founder of Neo-Confucianism, left an enduring mark on later scholars, significantly shaping their views on women's chastity. Some historians during the Song dynasty referenced Wu's scandals in their writings about virtuous and chaste women. This emphasis on chastity persisted into the Qing dynasty. However, contemporary China exhibits a more favorable view of Wu Zhao than in the past, as Chinese patriarchy has evolved to be more tolerant toward women. Impact in the media. Wu's complex legacy continues to spark debate and discussion, making her a well-known and controversial figure even more than 300 years after her death. Wu Zhao continues to be a prominent figure in contemporary China, making her the subject of various historical television dramas. Notably, a series aired on Hunan television titled Wu Meiniang Chuanqi, The Legend of the Charming Lady Wu, or the Empress of China. This drama garnered significant attention due to its opulent budget and ambitious production, as well as its controversial portrayal of actress Fan Bingbing in the role of Wu Zhao. The drama's content also sparked state censorship, not only because of its bold depiction, but also due to its impact on the audience's attitudes about sexuality and woman. The Legend of the Charming Lady Wu first aired on Hunan television in 2014, but it was abruptly cancelled a week later following objections from government censors. It eventually resumed broadcasting in 2015, albeit with significant edits. This incident shows that the public perception of Wu Zetian is widely popular and positive in modern times. All in all, despite the controversies and tensions surrounding her legacy, Wu Zhao remains a significant and enduring figure in China's imperial history. Here comes an end to the extraordinary journey of Wu Zetian. Her life story and rule is a tale of controversy, but her impact is profound and still persists. What do you think about Wu Zetian and her life? Do you think she was a fair ruler and a symbol of women empowerment, or do you think she was a power-hungry villain? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. On that note, we are wrapping up today's video. If you enjoyed today's journey back in time, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family who would enjoy this intriguing story of Al Capone. Hit the subscribe button to keep an eye on our exciting content. We will see you soon with another video.